Back with another episode of Pottawattamie County Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Stewart. Coming up today, we're going to talk about something new that has come to the county. It's called Project Lifesaver. Now, it's not new everywhere. In fact, this says there are many, many chapters across the United States and into Canada. But this is a way for law enforcement, first responders to be able to find someone quickly that may be dealing with some memory issues or possibly autism and different things like that. You know how folks can sometimes wander off and it can be difficult to find them. Project Lifesaver is a way to be able to find them quickly. And we have brought several members including Aaron Susi from the Pottawattamie County Sheriff's Office, also Dan Morse with the Council Bluffs Fire Department, and Nathan Poles with the Council Bluffs Police Department, all joining us today to tell us more about Project Lifesaver and why it is so important that we have it here in Pottawattamie County. If you're looking for all natural health solutions in Southwest Iowa, visit Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market. She's located at 805 South Main Street in Council Bluffs, but she's been serving the entire region since 1997. You'll find a wide selection of vitamins, supplements, essential oils, herbal remedies. It's all right there in her store, and you can shop your wellness options online at bambisgreenacres.com. Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market, putting health in your hands. And if you have a leak, a clogged drain, or maybe you're planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit them online at waldsteinplumbing.com. A new chapter of Project Lifesaver has come to Pottawattamie County, and we have some big heavy hitters in town here to tell us more about it. Aaron Susi's with the Pottawattamie County Sheriff's Office. We have Dan Morris with the Council Bluffs Fire Department, Nathan Poles with the Council Bluffs Police Department. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for coming in today to tell us more about this. And I say, let's just start off with what the heck is it? What is Project Lifesaver, and why is it important that we have it here?
Well, thanks for having us. So Project Lifesaver is a type of technology that we use to help find folks that have a propensity to wander, elope, or bolt. Most of our people that category fits into are dementia patients, are autism spectrum disorder kids, some Down syndrome kids as well. And they have a propensity just to get away from their loved ones and their family. Project Lifesaver started in 1999. It uses very old radio tracking technology. It's beautifully simple. That's how nice it is. It doesn't require GPS, doesn't require cellular or internet. The band is worn by the client 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If they go missing, their loved one calls into our dispatch center. They give them their radio transmitter code, and then we just come in as a group effort to help locate these folks.
Is this something that has to be recharged, or how does the bracelet part of it work?
Great question. So it actually takes a very small cell battery we buy them directly from Project Lifesaver just because they're certified batteries. But it's a very small, like watch style battery that you would get, and we change them every 55 days. Now, the parents or the loved ones that are in charge of caring for the individual, they test the battery every single day to make sure it's transmitting. So that way, if they do go lost, we can find them. And that's just part of the daily maintenance they have on it. If we have any issues with a battery, then we can change them early. But it's just a very simple battery inside that radio transmitter.
Yeah, a lot of times, my grandmother had dementia, and I know that we all kept a pretty close eye on her just to make sure. But sometimes folks can get confused and they think they're headed home, or they think something like along those lines. And it's important that we can find them as quickly as possible. I mean, we've all seen the posts online, missing person and something like that, and it's kind of an all hands on deck. How fast can this work? I mean, is it just instantly trackable to get it right down to the exact point where they're at?
Yep. So we use multiple receivers to triangulate the position. So when we start coming in, we ask for what was the last thing that they were wearing, what's their transmitter number, and when was the last place they were seen, and what time were they seen. As we start to come in, we are listening for the transmission of that signal as we're coming into the area, and then we just pinpoint it down. In practice and training, 20 to 30 minutes max. But we've had some of our harder test cases when we're training, it was about 20 minutes, and those were very difficult cases to find inside the city. I mean, just because there's a lot of signal bounce sometimes. But we're able to find those in 20 minutes. We think about these individuals and we can all probably picture somebody in our head that would benefit from this. They really don't have a lot of self-preservation. So they like to go to water. They like to go outside, not dressed appropriately. Some of our clients have zero stranger danger. They will just talk to anybody. And that makes them highly at risk to either be injured, taken, or, potentially die if they're not found quickly. We have stories of our families that come in and they talk about having to sleep by the bedroom door or by the front door and the back door because their kids, if their feet hit the ground, they're going to go. And that's just what they've had to live with. We want those folks to continue to do the safety measures they do. This is that extra layer of you now have outside help to help you find them if they do go missing. And that's what we really strive for.
What is the range of this? I mean, how far away can someone be and you still be able to track them?
Depending on which type of antenna that we're using, we can go up to a mile. So we want to get within that area. We can go up to a mile out and find them within a direction. If we're doing the type of antenna that just gives us a kind of a broad, hey, are we in the right ballpark? We're closer to a half mile, but those are usually mounted on our vehicles as we're driving. So it's two different type of search techniques.
And also, as we were talking before we got started, this is widespread. I mean, we've got it across the United States, also in Canada, do you say?
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's 1,700 chapters throughout Canada and the United States. Locally here in the Council Bluffs, Omaha region, we have Pottawattamie County. Glenwood, Iowa also has a chapter. Omaha, Nebraska, Sarpy County, and then Lincoln, Nebraska also has a chapter just in our area. It's very interesting to note that a lot of our families, once they get used to this program, they see the benefit of it, they actually look for other chapters to do their vacations. Disney World, Disneyland,
Wow.
they have their own chapter within the theme park for people to go to. So if they want to go on a family vacation and they're part of that Project Lifesaver group, they go missing in the park, the Disney staff can help find them.
Wow, that's impressive and also very smart. And I'm glad that it's come to Pottawattamie County. What was the process of getting it here? Was that a long thing?
Well, it was brought up to us by, I believe, a couple of different groups and said, hey, you need to get this by some of our parents of kids that we have living in our county. They were part of, autism parent groups in Omaha and things like that, and they have it over there. I believe it was brought into the Pot County Sheriff's Department, and Susie ran with it. So
it was one of those things. Loved ones were the ones that approached sheriff's office. My understanding, fire department got approached at some point or another. So at that point, that's kind of where the joint effort came into play. Well, instead of having 3 different chapters, why not work collectively as one chapter and work together as 3 different agencies to bring this program to our county?
I think that that's also a testament that some people think that, you guys don't get along. There's always this kind of, button heads. And I think it's more like good natured rivalry, maybe like different branches of the military.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I mean, working together to bring something like this to the area, I think is wonderful. And I'm just imagining some of the different ways that this can work. But as you said, with all the training that goes along with it, all of this takes money. You got to be able to put all of this together. And I know that there's been some folks in the community and some organizations that have been helping out with that.
Yeah, so obviously nothing's free, but our goal with this program is to keep it cost-free for the families that are participating in the program. In order to do that, we rely solely on donations to fund this project. And there have been some good people, some good groups out there that have donated, that have really helped us out so we can keep this program going and keep building it to where we want it to be. So, I mean, we can't thank those people, those individuals, those groups enough, because that has helped out tremendously. And it's a lot of relief for the families, because we want this cost free. They have enough to worry about in their day-to-day lives. We don't want them to have to worry about any sort of fee coming from us any way, shape, or form.
When you got this started, how fast did you hear from these families? I mean, knowing that there was a chapter here now in Pottawattamie County.
So I would say the majority came in within the first 3 months, I think, of our clients, and then it's just kind of been steady applications coming in ever since then. So we've been live since July of last year, um, and we had 10 to 15 people probably within the first month, or families, I should say, and then after that, it's just slowly, like I said, month by month, we just get a few more in. So.
Is it a individual thing where families are contacting you? Is it through another organization that maybe is already working with their child or grandparent or whoever that might be? I mean, I'm curious how people can find you. That if somebody's listening to this, say, this is a good program.
So we have an online application process, and that's through the Council Bluffs. Is it the city website?
Police department website.
Okay, it's on the police department website. From there, there's a link with Project Lifesaver. They click on it. It brings them to the application page. We need some basic information as far as their loved one, as well as the family and caregiving and stuff like that. As soon as they click submit, that application goes into a shared file to where all of us can see it, review it, and we just communicate amongst ourselves. All right, good to go. We'll reach out, get them set up. So,
well, was this I'm guessing this probably wasn't a hard sell to when you take and talk to some of the organizations about what it is that you want to do, and said, hey, can you help us out? Probably a pretty quick response with that.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the Midwest in general, we're really resource light with the autism folks, and on it, I don't have a lot of experience in it. Talking and meeting these families, you realize how much of a struggle it is for them. To see the first time we put transmitters on the young kids, you could see the relief in the parents' faces, and you could kind of see the terror in some of the kids that were, because it was new and they don't like it. By the second or third battery change, they've all gotten to know us. They put their foot or their ankle, wherever it is, take it off. They want it back on as soon as we can get it back on. They develop that routine. But that first time that we went through, it was really interesting to see the parents' relief on their face. It was just, I'm not completely on my own anymore, and that's what you saw out of a lot of them. So
yeah, that's I can only imagine. As you said, I haven't personally experienced that as well, but I've been around parents who have, and I know that it's a constant worry about them. Not just are they going to wander off, but everything about that. So if you guys can take just one piece of that off their plate, that has to be just a huge relief on their part. So I'm grateful that you guys came in to talk about this today. It's we were as we were visiting, I said before, you said this goes back to the 70s is when this first got started. So and the technology that you're talking about sounds like it's pretty simple. This isn't like high tech, and it's
no. So the technology is probably way older than the 70s. This is like the simplest radio transmitter that you can see. They're the size of about a quarter,
right?
Is all that transmitter is. So they were doing some test projects all the way up through when it became a national and international project was actually in 1999. But they started working on some of this obviously way before that. But the technology has been around. I mean, it's some of the earliest radio transmitting technology that we have. The really nice thing about this is a simple, 216 megahertz frequency. Project Lifesaver is the only one that owns that band throughout the country. So we have, if somebody travels here from California and their child or loved one goes missing, they can call into our dispatch center. They give us their transmitter number and we can go find them. This is not isolated to just people that are from Pot County. This is anywhere in the country that has it can come in, or they can go there. So it's very simple technology.
Yeah, I have a little bit of experience, just minor, what you're talking about with the different bands and needing something that's dedicated to it, because stuff can bleed over real easy. We used to, years ago, there was a transmitter that we used in radio called a Marty, which was just a one direction. You couldn't hear back, just going one way. And it interfered with all the police scanners that people had. They were listening to us. Instead of going over, you remember those old scanners that everybody seemed to have in their house back. Now they just use the internet for it. But this is it's a wonderful thing that you guys have brought to town, and all of this work, and the fact that you all work together to be able to do that. We should probably mention we were going to have someone else here that came down with the nastiness that's going on, so don't want to leave him out. But who else was, just to give him a good well wish?
Yep. So Deputy Chief Alex Ford for the fire department.
Okay.
Him and I work out of the same area in the fire department, but he's out with the flu this week. He blames me because I was sick last week. So,
well, that's probably legitimate.
It's probably legitimate, but yeah, he's home with the flu right now. So, but he's an active, everyday type person with us too,
I think that the point to it, though, is it takes a lot of people to pull this off, and you guys all getting together and making this happen, and the community getting behind you to do this. These are the types of stories that we like to tell here, and to let folks know that, yeah, we're taking care of the folks that need us the most, and you're leading the charge on that. So thank you so much for coming in today, getting out and braving the cold, and braving our lack of an elevator today. So very grateful that that you came up here and just fill us in a little bit about that. And you said it's on the Council Bluffs Police Department website is where people can find that application, correct?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and put the link in the description to the show. So we'll get that from you and make sure that that is attached to it. So if anybody needs some more information or thinks that they have somebody that would qualify for this program, we can get them to reach out to you that way. So again, Aaron Susie, Dan Morris, Nathan Poles, thank you so much for your time today. And come on back. Next time you guys want to get together and do a big project, keep us in mind. We'll help thread the word.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it can be hard to get back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke, and that often leads to mold. You may also be left with all sorts of questions about how to get your home or business back to normal. Service Master Restore by Schmader will restore your space by offering quality commercial and residential restoration services in the entire Southwest Iowa region. Call 402-339-9911. And when you're in the market for stylish, locally curated fashion that's close to home, visit Unique Boutique Iowa. They're located at 101 4th Street in Neola, your destination for trendy clothing, accessories, and distinctive gifts. Open on the weekend, Saturdays 10 to 2, Sundays 11 to 3, or, you can shop 24 hours a day online at shopubiowa.com. That is going to wrap up today's show. Again, thank you to Aaron Susie, Dan Morris, and Nathan Poles for joining us today and telling us all about Project Lifesaver. And thank you to all of the businesses and organizations that helped out and are continuing to help sponsor this program to make sure that we can keep some folks safe right here in Pottawattamie County. That's going to wrap up today's show. My name's Todd Studer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.